Good morning, day 13, lucky day 13. We're heading to what I think is one of Britain's highest free-falling waterfalls. So this walk today I think will be challenging, but really nice. It's going to be trackless for the most part. Then we're going to have some indistinct track, then some no clear track again, and then we should be back on a track. But it's still, I think it's still quite challenging terrain. But look, like, how about it? Brilliant. I don't even think this GoPro, because I can see the little screen, will pick up how nice this place is. The guide describes it as a splendidly isolated alternative, and it certainly is that. Like, if you are estranged from your significant other or running from the law for some reason, like, this is ideal. Like, it's so picturesque, and I'm not sure anyone could be arsed to find you because of the lack of tracks, the boulders, the bog scars. Although it is pleasant in this weather walking across it, it would be proper minging. Like, I woke up in the middle of the night for a pee, and the clag had descended, you know, I couldn't recognise where. I forgot which side of the tent really I had slept on, you know, completely lost my bearings. Listen to that. Complete silence, except of course early onset tinnitus for a 30-year-old. But this is a great. See, I'm glad I did that little leg, if you have seen that leg in Torridon where there was no distinct path, because it's kind of prepared me for what that actually means. I think I was a bit naive as to, oh, no distinct path. Maybe it's like on and off, and there's a deer path or something like that, or a lot of boots have been tread on it or something like that. Literally, that was no indistinct path, and it was over probably as bad the terrain could be for this time of year, you know, like heathery, very green, and then a boulder field underneath, so it was the sort of disguise in a boulder field. This is like, there are lots of bog scars as you can see, and then boulders, but it's not really, you know, there's skill involved in descending here. There's not like, it's not a lottery like the other place was, and also it's much more pleasant, and it's a short distance. I know we're just skirting around this loch, so that's quite a significant feature, and then we pick up a path, so it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So at that Gorm Loch Mor, you can go up that way. That's no path, but then you get to a very good path over there, or you can kind of head. I mean, you can't get a sense of it in the GoPro, but you can kind of head northwest to rejoin the normal path from Inchnadamp. The reason we're going that way is because I want to see a waterfall. Also, think it's probably. I think even though it says indistinct pass, it must be okay, because like most people probably do that route and then head over there. So that's what I'm going with anyway. I've used that logic and it's failed me on a number of occasions on this trip. So a massive bird of prey just came quite close to us. That's an absolutely beautiful bird. Unfortunately, he's away back in the opposite direction. Or is he? Is he coming back? No, he's not. That's a real shame, couldn't get my camera out in time. That's us joined the path, the main path if you're going into the amenities of Inchnadamp, and it does feel like we're going back on ourselves. We are now beside the river that leads to Loch Beg, and apparently this is where there's some pretty impressive waterfalls, so quite like my waterfalls, so I'm looking forward to this. little river crossing beforehand, but this shouldn't pose any drama. Those waterfalls are cool. Some water going off that mountain, it's quite cool. But that big waterfall up there is the guy. Can't remember what name it's called. Chual Aluinn waterfall. I've murdered that. There she is. Cracking. Really good, really good. As a heads up, if you're doing the trail, there's wild variations, understandably, I'm not blaming them, on what is an indistinct path. No, not even, no visible path is the marking for this. So coming into Loch Beg and Glencoe Bothy, there is a path, and it's your flat, which you can obviously read on the map, and check out cool waterfall there. But this is like a nice one. It's flat, whereas earlier, because you don't have the detail on the 1 in 40, it was hellish, and that was meant to be indistinct path, not no visible path. Couldn't really find the path that much, and I kept losing it and all sorts. So be aware of that. And also another episode was Torridon. Torridon was probably the worst, and that there was literally nothing, and it was rocky, heathered ground. So yeah, just bear that in mind. There's someone moving about in that boat. That's the first human being we've seen in about 24 hours since we met that likely heir to a lot of land in Scotland yesterday lunchtime. We're going to march on to Glencoe Bothy and have a bite to eat there, but you could easily camp in that little bit just as you break out into Loch Beg. This place is, well, it's beautiful. Excuse hairdo. Cat's been on backwards, sideways, everything to avoid the sun, but look at that. Coming up is like one of those max headroom signs coming up. I mean, it's like a country version of it. I don't know what type of vehicle could come here, but certainly there wouldn't be that many, I wouldn't think. Some incline, like off from that bothy, we pull up to 200 metres, pretty sharp. So you'll have seen it from the maps, for sure. I'm not insulting your intelligence, but just the word on the ground, point of view from the ground, is that this is a bit of a sickener. You know, being able to see the other side and having to go in twice, you know, with these little sea locks when you get to Kylesku. And you consider it, you're like, should I like fill like air in my canoe bag and like swim across or something like that? But I did just hear a roar from the sea there, genuine roar. I think it was a wee seal, friendly as they are, you know. I think I'll just walk round the bay. That's some drop down there, and this path, sorry, that was a bit too close for you. This path is not that, well, I mean, it's okay in this kind of thing, but it's that those kind of baby heads caused by the heather that are sort of, could be very slippy if you were walking this in the rain. There's another one. I don't know how this is going to come out on a video, but I can see them clearly. 180 megapixels, I'm hoping you can too. That's pretty cool. I'm not sure I've seen a seal in Scotland before. I maybe have. Also check out that rock. It's going to fall in one day and cause the Glendu estate a bit of a tsunami. Here they are coming up again. That's awesome. I apologise for dripping about this detour. Another bit of wildlife. Saw an eagle today as well. I don't know if that'll make the edit because I didn't get my camera out in time, but I saw an eagle. Definitely called it a bird of prey in the video because I wasn't sure, but I'm pretty sure it was a big eagle. Massive thing. Don't know if I've seen one of them in Scotland either. So today has been a day of firsts. And now, because we're heading west, the sun is directly in our faces, so this is the first time you've seen me in a cap. You see me in a buff, you see me in a cap, because it's usually on my neck, because we're usually travelling up north in the middle of the day. Sun, it's been a scorcher. I can't complain, but I am complaining because I'm just drained, probably dehydrated, even though I've been drinking all sorts of water, some from suspect sources as well, but there we are. This path's amazing, it's really good. Missed it, didn't get it on camera, but there's really well kept walls. Just past the Kylesku bridge, so I'm now further north. Well, actually I used to have a girlfriend in Purslow, but actually further north on the west side than I've ever been before, because I remember going to Kylesku bridge once a couple of years ago just to see the bridge when we were in the area. So this is the furthest north I've been on the west. Uncharted territory. Never been to Reconic or Kinlochbervie. Certainly never been to Cape Wrath, so I'm looking forward to it. Good morning. It's day 14. So this is the 2-week point. This is where we camped. This is a record for us. So that ground looks good. Idyllic with the loch, but actually it was pretty bumpy. Jade had 3 ticks on her belly when we got our food parcel yesterday, and we saw, I think, 3 or 4 ticks in and about the tent. That is because you could see all the deer tracks and that, and then you've got the thick grass or the heather. It was just deer territory. Deer territory and tick territory. So the pitch was as good as it could be. We got a good night's sleep. It was a bit bumpy, not as nice as last one, and also didn't really want to leave the tent much and get outside because it was that boggy, heathery kind of ground, and yeah. But today we're heading to Reconic. From Kylesku it's meant to be a one-dayer. We reckon we can get there and a bit further. The carrot and the reason that we're up so early this morning is potential fish and chips. Our 4th fish and chips on this trip. Just past Reconic. I phoned the guy at Reconic last night and I was like, are you taking anyone in your restaurant, or is it just guests only? And before I'd like politely said that, he was like, no, it's guests only. I was like, hi, no bother, right, see you later then. So I don't know, I mean obviously COVID, they probably don't have the capacity or whatever, but some of them just didn't seem that bothered for custom and that. But that's happened a few times. We phoned up and just asked and they were like, nah, So it's been a bit more of a, it's been a wilder Cape raft than we thought. We thought we were going to have a bit more civilised meals and things like that, and we've only, well, we stopped at obviously Kluane, Ullapool, got a toasty at Kinloch Mor, but that's it really. What can you do? But today is a good day. I can smell the Cape. I know, it's another excellent day. I've literally had no use for my Gore-Tex jacket since Malbury, Bothy, I could be saying that wrong, you know, before Strathcarron. It's like 6 days ago. It's been excellent weather. Been spoiled. I've actually got horrendous tan lines as well. Like, that's why I'm rolling up my sleeves a bit to try and blend it in. Because I'm like a drumstick. Really, I'm like a drumstick. That one's Ben Stack. That one is Arkle, and then behind it I think is Foinaven. Just saw a bloke doing some work, and that is the first time I've seen anybody in 48 hours or so, other than Jed obviously. Oh, there's a bird. Oh, there's a bird! I don't know if you can see that, but that to me looks like it's a big eagle. Look at that. It's totally in the wind. Epic. Not seen one of them on this trip so far. A wee adder. Minky wee thing. Also a first was a few minutes ago we met our first Cape Raft trailer. That is day 14, and that's the first one we've seen. He's going north to south. He is done south to north via the Knoydart route last October and stopped in Kinloch Mor, so he's going to do north to south to Kinloch Mor. Yeah, stopped and chatted to him for a while, nice bloke. This is the latest pathless bit on the Cape Raft Trail. After Lochstack Lodge, and you know, you get a good bit of a state road, then you have to break off it where a stream seems to sort of come down parallel, then at a right angle, then head off northwest. You follow it northwest, or you don't follow it, but you basically just put northwest, as I've done, on your compass / GPS, and just march across the ground, which is like, it's soggy, but it's like we've had it good. I mean, it's not rained on me in like a week, so this right now is, your feet are digging in, but it's easy. And that is Foinaven. Pretty cool, eh? It's just that little bridgey thing to the south of it. I had a nice little lunch at the lunch spot. The southern banks of this loch that heads into Reconic, there's a little beach. Yeah, if you can get there, it's a lovely little spot. Or it is on a sunny day anyway. Heading now to Reconic. Flies are a many. Droves of them. Ones that I didn't know about, but do a bit, and draw blood. There's Foinaven, and it's day 14, and I think this is our first challenge in river crossing, really. Challenging, I say, if you want to keep your feet dry. It could be a lot more in spate than it obviously is. And that's a swan over there. you see it? I've actually not taken a minute to admire the surroundings, but they are truly magical. Arkle, Foinaven, some more mountains that we probably come across, and this river. So let's do it. Ready to go in all respects. Hot tunas are on. Fucking look, that just bit me. That's the blood it takes from you. Right, so hot tunas are on. River's ready. Jade's gone for Crocs. I've attached my boots with some carabiners and lots of knots to my rucksack. Caps on backwards. We're off. Phone is in a non-zip pocket, so I'm clearly feeling pretty confident about this. Now that could be misplaced, but we'll soon find out. It's a good flow. Strong flow. I am a fisherman. A wader. Oh, there she is. Oh, that's what they've been attached for this whole time. You can just tell by our sort of posture that she's not confident about this. Why is your bum wet? It won't come into focus. Of course it won't come into focus. Wee tit kind of crawling up there. You can't see it, it won't come into focus, but I've just killed that bad boy. Wee fucking arseholes.
You got one.
Bye bye. Arrived in Reconic. We're taking that road there. If there's anything like this, it could be because we've gone quite fast around here. Could be a wee bit of a dangerous one. There's the Reconic Hotel. Phoned yesterday, like I say, and I said, "Are you taking the general public?" before I was finished speaking. He was like, "No, mate." So I was like, "Cheers, mate. See you later." So obviously, no desperate for custom, which is a good thing. I'm happy for him. No bitterness whatsoever. That's Foinaven, and that's Arkle. That's where we came today. Hat hair. Because the cloud cover's out for the first time in like, I can't remember, I was a small boy, but we've had a lot of sun, I'll tell you that. It's really nice around here. I was just thinking there, like, see those houses over there? You can see them. I think we all have these little fantasies like, you know, maybe I could live in the country, or maybe I should buy a house in the country. Some of us do it, you know, like up sticks and go to Fort William. If you've come here, Kinloch Bervie area, you know, considering how far away from absolutely everything you've gone head on into that fantasy, you have, I mean, hats off. I don't know, is it like a you know, like I just imagine an English person, you know, selling their home and going, I can afford loads in Loch Mor, and then they come up here and then house prices in England go up, and then all of a sudden they're absolutely trapped. It makes me chuckle slightly, no offence. It's so remote. It just looks remote with all the rocks and, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's been a great day, this. Really good day. So, some people might say, how could you be so foolish? Essentially, it's now Friday. We had planned today to make up time and potentially get to Sandwood Bay. It was a bit of a pipe dream, but actually it's a bit of a reality now, or it became a bit of a reality because we made it to Reconic at like 3 o'clock. So we were like, well, we can just push on. Sandwood Bay is only 10 miles. Tomorrow's meant to be an easier day. It's only 8 miles from Sandwood Bay to Cape Wrath. So I phoned up the guy this morning and I said, any spaces on the bus tomorrow or the day? You know, either, and he was like, aye, just rock up, just get there to Ozone Cafe before 2 PM and we'll take you to Durness. So as you know, it's a bus to a ferry to a bus. Durness bus, as you may know, only goes on at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we would not arrive there until, I'm going to take a while to guess, I say 4 or 5 at least. So that's one thing. So it would have been Sunday, we'd had to stay accommodation in Durness. Turns out they don't run on a Sunday either, so we can get to Cape Wrath tomorrow, that'll probably be no bother, and then we can get to Durness tomorrow, that'll probably also be no bother, but then we'll have to stay 2 nights in Durness. There's no accommodation, so that'll be day 16 and 17 of the Cape Wrath Trail. Just in tents in Durness, you know, fucking playing with my fingers. I really don't know what's going to happen. Just walking into Loch Mor now. There you are, what can you do? I did actually watch a little documentary on, or like tiny little documentary snippet, I didn't watch the full documentary, kind of just for the record, about this men's rights activist, an ex-German gay porn star who served in the German army as well actually, and is now got an art gallery there. So we're thinking about going and giving him a visit. Jade's looking at me now, she's not very happy about that. But there is the caves, there's caves. That'll take all of 10 minutes. Oh dear, what a time to be alive though. Remember Foinaven earlier today with the sun on it? Looks a bit more broody now. Actually, I just put this rain jacket on as a precaution. It's not really raining, it's like, do you know that rain that's like every so often a huge droplet lands on you, but apart from that there's not really anything. But there is a bit of a wind and the sun's gone, so more than anything else it's just a bit of a warm layer. I think it's 8:30 now, there or thereabouts, maybe coming up for 8:45. We've done over 40 kilometres, so I stopped the watch at the old school tea room. Oh, by the way, the old school school rooms place on the way to Loch Mor is excellent. Alcohol and fish and chips was fantastic, and I had the nachos as well, so they're really good. And then went to London stores and that guy was a character. But anyway, I stopped my watch there and it's 28.5 kilometres, now it's 11, probably 80, almost 12, so it's over 40 kilometres and we've still probably got, I'd say 3 to go, at the very least actually. Could even be 4. So yeah, a very long day.
That's the sun going down on Sandwood Bay.
Good morning. Day 15, day of the Cape. Day of the Cape Wrath. I don't know if that's the lighthouse up there. You're almost certainly not going to see that, but that could be it, because it says you get a view of it and then you don't see it again for the rest of the day. Already had to cross a loch. Decided to do it, not a loch, sorry, like a river coming out of the loch into the sea. Already had to do it with the boots on. I don't know why I did that, because my boots are now wet. So I've gone barefoot. Sorry, those feet are very disgusting. Jade's wading through now. So here we are. It is the most pleasant beach I've been in Scotland, probably the UK as well. So, and I can't believe the sun is shining again. It's the 8th day in a row. Oh, there's no jellyfish. I believe you come up this stream here on the map. Looks like there's something of a path. So I put on my Gore-Tex socks for the first time on this trip. This is because of the news I gave you yesterday that we are probably going to have to stay in either Durness or Cape Wrath, or a mixture of the two for 2 more days than we thought. So I want to keep one pair of clothes, or 1.5 pairs of clothes, completely clean, completely dry. So if we're doing all the touristy stuff in Durness, / going into a pub if it exists, or a restaurant, we can do that and feel clean, etc. if we can't get our clothes washed. So instead of getting a new pair of socks on, I just put my Gore-Tex socks on and they feel delightful. It is a bit of a sin walking in Gore-Tex socks. I don't generally like to do it, but I make an exception for this. Dry my other socks. Probably good they got wet because they were getting a bit smelly, so the sun dries them with the seawater. Might be less smelly or smelly in a different way, which is nice to have a bit of stink diversity. So if you're camping at Sandwood Bay, in essence, skip whatever I've said, I would recommend you start barefoot for the first, till you're off the beach, then walk up the hill. It's nice grass, and when you get up the hill and your feet are dry, at that point put on your boots and you will have a much better time of it. The view, I know. The sea is like a turquoise. Look at that. It's awesome. There are certainly more hills on this walk than the contour lines would lead you to believe on the Harvey maps. Like, a fair few. And it's a bit of that path chasing as well. Like, am I on a deer path? Have humans been here? Usually find that out at the end of the day when you check your legs and they're absolutely covered in ticks. But, oh, we're nearly there. It's another great day, isn't it? Confession time. I just lost my GoPro. What happened was we caught up with two people, and in the excitement we got to them and started chatting, and I was conscious that my socks that were hanging from my my bag were very stinky and that they would smell them, so I scrunched them up and put them in my hand, and that's usually the hand that has my GoPro in it. So muscle memory, I've dropped my GoPro, not realised it, and I've not been filming because I've been chatting to them, and there was a moment of panic. So double back, thinking it was back where we crossed over the fence. You go down quite sharply, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to do that hill again. I probably left it there because I remember taking it, you know, I put that down on top of my map to stop it blowing away when we stop for water or take bags off or have lunch or anything like that. And then I had this memory of having it in my hand as we were approaching them after that hill. So I was like, it's somewhere here. Unfortunately, as I retraced my steps, the little handle was sticking up, and I could not have been more happy, because more as just the GoPro, it was all the memories of this video vlog. We're happy now, but we've done more than what we should have done, and that is my fault. And we're going to be quite late for this coach. In fact, we might not even get the coach today, but that's fine because the weather's good. So if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. We'll see what happens when we get there. Don't know what the score is with this Ozone Cafe. We're looking forward to a soup and a sandwich. So that's us now, just walking up the path. This is the last pathless bit of the whole Cape Wrath Trail, and I suppose I ought to say something about, well, if you're thinking of doing the Cape Wrath Trail, what's it like, and what do you need to do, train for, what's the most important things, blah blah blah. If you've heard of the Cape Wrath Trail, you are a hiker probably, and you know what to do, and you're probably quite fit as well. Obviously you need time on your legs. Like if it helps if you do an endurance sport like running or walking already, if you're used to doing, say, ridge walks, or maybe a couple of Munros or a few Munros in one day, that kind of thing, and you can do it day after day. But the biggest thing that I've realised is just having the time. You know, it's okay if you're just super fit and you're super all over your navigation, you don't think you're going to have any dramas. Luckily, because of the good weather, we didn't really have any dramas, but we ambled, you know, and went to hotels because we wanted to enjoy it. But for you, the biggest thing is having the time. I'd say 3 weeks you need to, not 3 weeks to complete it, maybe not, but just to have that margin for error, so you're not stressing about stuff on the trail. You're not stressing about making it to here because of, you know, work commitments and that. And 3 weeks is half of most people's annual leave, more than half maybe for a lot of people. And then you've got other things like whether your other half, whether they, you know, are wanting you to do other things, you've got children over your leave. So it's difficult for a lot of people to do the Cape Wrath Trail in a winter. So that's the biggest thing, I'd say, time. You need to have that. And we were fortunate, Jade's between jobs. I have a lot of leave because of the pandemic, I had to work a lot last year and didn't get to take it. So I wanted to do this, so we were lucky in that sense. but that's the biggest thing. The couple we're walking in with now, really lovely couple. I dare say they're retired, and they've taken 22 days. Lovely couple and really nice, and that's probably, you know, proves my point. You do need that time. It's there. Sorry, we'll get out your way.